Before we begin, we'd like to remind you that forex trading involves significant risk of loss and is not suitable for all investors. Please pause the screen and read the full disclosure. Thank you.
Euro pound. Here again, everybody's facing problems with the PIGS countries. The UK banks have loaned a lot of money to people that are in a tight spot in their ability to repay it. Interestingly enough, I think that the pound is in a spot here where it can probably outperform the euro. So you know, this is close to a toss-up, and I think we're still in a range, but we're in a much closer to bearish portion of that range, and I believe, at least in the medium term, a breakout probably favors the pound. This is another one, though. It's kind of in a no man's land, a middle ground where, you know, a big improvement in either the Eurozone or the UK could really make this cross move quickly in whatever direction it moves. But for right now, I still believe we're in a bearish spot. And although, let's take a look at the chart. Okay, so here's a weekly. As you can see, we've been contained within this area here. We haven't really even made a reasonable move back to try to test this trend line. We have another one that's coming up from the bottom here. We did break through that on a weekly basis. We came back up actually this week and tested the bottom of that. We fell back. This week in general, we're you know, this is a green candle. So let's go to the daily and take a look at what we got. Okay, so here we are. We've come back. We've tried to, you know, a few weeks ago we tried to test this, didn't quite get there. Now we've broken below the bottom of this, and we haven't even quite come up and tested it very well at all. So let's see, there's another support line in here we need to draw. There. So if price was to come up, test this line or this line, you could get a fairly reasonable position with maybe a stop up in this area here. I'm still looking at this as a bearish chart. Right now, I wouldn't be all that excited about taking a short myself because we have come down so far and we haven't really retraced a huge amount. I'd like to see us come back and try to retest some of these resistance levels, and that's just my style of trade. I like for it to pull back into resistance. It gives me an opportunity to take a much lower risk position, even one that you know, I could maybe take a piece here, and maybe even take a piece up in here without worrying too much about whether or not it was going to blow up on me. If we get all the way back up to here, we're probably going to be running out of momentum unless something exciting happened in the Eurozone that caused the euro just to get on fire. So I would look for it to come back up and then start to do some consolidation and show me some signs of failure, come back off a little bit, and then maybe go up and try to test again. And then if I saw some failure occurring, I wouldn't have any qualms about adding positions anywhere in this execution zone here and probably putting a stop in this area or maybe even up here. If I took a small enough position, I could have a much wider stop and give myself some room for a swing. Once again, you know, this is kind of a battle for the bottom of the economies, and big news on either side could really whip this pair around. Obviously, you need to fit this into how your own view of the market works. Take a look at your system, take a look at the levels that you see on the chart, and see how you would do that. But I think there's some opportunities to look at in these areas here. So